Hello YouTube, Dave here again. Today I want to talk a little bit about the Gatewalkers Adventure Path. This is the brand new adventure path for Pathfinder 2nd Edition, and this is the first of 3 volumes in this particular campaign arc. This is an item that was sent to me by the good folks over at Paizo for the purposes of doing some videos on, so I really do want to thank them for that. However, as is always the case, they are not scripting the video or pre-screening it. Or anything along those lines. The opinions that I express are, as always, 100% completely and totally my own. But this was something that, as soon as I started flipping through it, I was immediately hooked. And I've been a fan of Pathfinder's Paizo's Adventure Pass for quite some time, even going back to the days of Dungeon Magazine, so even predating Pathfinder as a property. And there have been some really cool ones now. I'm mostly familiar with the 2nd edition Adventure Pass, but this one here, like I said, I was just immediately hooked as I started reading through it. I don't want to spoil too much in this video. I mainly just want to kind of raise awareness, but just like the hook was something that I was super big fan of, and am basically planning to try running this as soon as possible. It's a 3-part campaign arc as well, or adventure path, which I really like because I run my games on a once-a-month basis. So a 3-part story is a little bit easier for me to get through than like a long-term 6-part, like full 20-level progression adventure path. So the premise of this adventure is that the player characters, along with a large number of other individuals, were part of an event known as the Missing Moment. The Missing Moment was an event where the elf gates, so there's these elven teleportation gates that are scattered all throughout the world of Golarion and beyond the world of Golarion, but something occurred that had each of these gates flare to life simultaneously, and revealing something that was so enticing to anyone that was nearby to be able to witness it that they felt basically compelled to step through. Now, each individual has a different length of time that they may have been missing for. Some have been, only have a missing moment that lasts a few hours, maybe a couple of days. Some individuals have never returned after stepping through one of these gates. And some, like the player characters, have a missing period of time equal to about 3 months that's just gone from their memories. They remember stepping into the gate, they remember emerging from it, but nothing in between. Upon emerging from the gate, and when they started to finally, have their memory start to take place again, they found themselves all branded with a mysterious mark on the back of their neck, and have had sort of like psychic abilities awakened within them, granting them unique abilities that other first level characters, for example, wouldn't be able to have. When you're creating your character, you get to choose some of these abilities, which were featured in the Dark Archive book, but also available in a free Gatewalkers Player's Guide download PDF that you can get from the Paizo website. And that's, like I said, just the adventure path revolves around the player characters coming together with other individuals who experience the same thing to try to figure out what had happened to them, what the significance of the mark on the back of their neck is, what these psychic powers that they've unlocked, what they mean. And it was something that, like I said, I just always loved the idea of incorporating missing time into some of my games. And it had a very Lovecraftian almost feel to it. And that's because I'm not spoiling anything, I'm not giving anything away, but I just remember like the missing time thing. It reminded me of the Dark Corners of the Earth video game for Call of Cthulhu, which had the main character, actually spending some time in the great city of Yith with the Yithian races. And one of the things that they do is they cause this sort of like gap in memory. And so I was really hooked on it from that. And there's another little Lovecraftian twist that takes place in this adventure as well. So I'm not going to really spoil anything too much here. But yeah, throughout the course of this first scenario, the player characters will have to deal with a druidic order a fey trickster, and even journeying beyond the world of Galarian and visiting some locations that, if you're someone like me who is also a big fan of the Starfinder role-playing game, might get a little bit of a rise out of for that. So really, really cool. I just love the mystery behind it, the explanation that if you're a player, like I said, I'm not going to give it away. You'll have to actually go through this with your game master, play through the campaign in order to find out exactly what it was. But it's just, again, such a unique and interesting premise. I just absolutely love it. So if you're looking for something that's got a little bit of, mystery and, again, some little minor Lovecraftian elements to it, I think this is going to be a really great adventure path to go through. It's a three-parter, so it's a little bit easier to digest. Especially, like I said, if you're someone like me who runs games once a month. But I absolutely love this. The idea of the player characters, having this missing time period, the psychic abilities that they now possess after, completing the period of time in which their memory is completely absent for, I think is great. And I was also kind of interested in the missing time thing for another reason. And again, it kind of comes back to the Starfinder role-playing game. There's some cool little connections that you can sort of have between the two. One of the biggest events that took place in the Starfinder campaign is an event known as the Gap, which is about a 300-year period of time in which there are no records written, recorded, alluded to anything in existence in the Starfinder universe. Even long-lived individuals who would have been alive during the time period where the gap occurred will remember everything that happened pre-gap and then everything that happened post-gap. But that 300-year period is still completely missing from their memory. Now, the two events are not necessarily actually directly connected, but I just kind of loved, again, that sort of idea of the mystery behind the missing time and the players emerging with these markings, with these abilities, and trying to get to the bottom of it. So I think this is going to be a really great adventure path. I will do a spoiler full video in the very near future for the 7th Arch, so that should be coming out in a couple of weeks' time. But this is something that I do highly, highly recommend. I think this is going to be an excellent adventure path for your groups to go through, and I'm looking forward to getting the 2nd and 3rd installments. And this is something, like I said, I had plans for systems and games that I was planning on running over the course of the next little while. And as soon as I got this, it's like, okay, we're throwing this into the mix like as soon as possible. An excellent adventure path, a really cool concept, something that's right up my alley, and hopefully it's something that you guys will enjoy as well. Check this out at your local game store if you have one, or wherever you buy your RPG products. And if you are going to get the Gatewalkers adventure path, or if you're thinking about it, there is the free Player's Guide PDF that you can download on the Paizo website. I will try to remember to leave a link to that particular page in the description, so if it's not there, please remind me and I will add it. But yeah, that gives you all the stuff that the players need to begin the campaign, as well as the abilities, the psychic abilities, the powers that were bestowed upon them during that missing moment point in time. Really, really great stuff, and I think it's going to be a fantastic adventure path. Check it out. Once again, thank you to Paizo for sending this to me. I really appreciate it. And thank you to every one of you who's taken time out of your day to watch this. It really does mean a lot to me. And I will see you all next time. Until then, take care.